Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shankar Shastri, Dean of the College of Engineering, and it is my very distinct pleasure to welcome you to this festive occasion. I'm so delighted that so many of our Berkeley engineering students, our staff and friends and faculty are here today. I'm also honored to have two former deans of the College of Engineering with us today, Deans Emeriti Ernie Koo and Dave Hodges. We're gathered here to mark a milestone in Berkeley's history. Nearly 33 years ago, on June 6, 1980, we dedicated the Stephen D. Bechtel Engineering Center, named in honor of the Berkeley engineering alumnus who led the Bechtel Corporation for decades. Stephen Bechtel Sr. was a great and generous friend to Berkeley. Today, his family and the Bechtel organization are actively sustaining this partnership on many fronts. The Bechtel Engineering Center was the first college facility to be built through a capital campaign. Alumni and other friends of the college came together to lead the fundraising and make their own commitments. The campaign was successfully completed under the leadership of Dean Koo. The vision that drove the thinking behind the building's creation remains true today. The Bechtel Engineering Center was meant to, and I quote, foster innovation and be a national center of engineering education. The champions of this project were far-sighted. Individuals like Ed Garbarini, Shermer Sibley, Bob Bridges, Gene Trefethen, Ernie Koo, and of course, Steve Bechtel Sr. These engineering leaders saw that the profession would be called upon to play a leading role in solving major global challenges, from energy production to environmental sustainability. Today, we stand before a Bechtel Engineering Center that has been significantly renovated with generous support from the Stephen D. Bechtel Jr. Foundation. So this original vision will continue to hold true. On behalf of the entire Berkeley engineering community, I would like to express our deepest thanks for the Bechtel Foundation's generous support, which has made a huge impact. During this afternoon's open house, you will see for yourself what the recent building renovation has accomplished. Inside this building, our students learn what it means to be leaders. And many of our students are leading nationally recognized organizations. Others practice mentoring and advising in our new Center for Access to Engineering Excellence and in our Engineering Student Services suite. Still others gather with their classmates in any of the building's new meeting areas to collaborate and to develop team projects. These activities are vivid illustrations of our vision for educating leaders, a vision we have forged in partnership with our faculty, students, and our friends in the private sector. Thanks to this partnership, we are reinventing engineering education on several counts. We are broadening the participation of women and other underrepresented students in engineering, and thus widening the talent pipeline to drive today's global businesses. We are opening up the engineering curriculum to include more of the social sciences and humanities, and especially design. And most of all, we are enabling our students to do more than just learn about leadership. We are giving them opportunities to practice it hands-on. The S.D. Bechtel Jr. Foundation has walked with us side by side to accomplish this reinvention of engineering education. We are profoundly grateful for their support of our renovation initiative. The foundation also supports a very prestigious cohort of Bechtel scholars each year. Several of these outstanding undergraduates have joined us today. The foundation's chair, Stephen Bechtel Jr., and the foundation's president, Laurie Bechtel Dax, are both here with us today. We're deeply honored to have them with us on this special day, and in a few minutes, Laurie will speak on behalf of the Bechtel Foundation. I would also like to recognize other generous supporters of our Berkeley engineering students whose gifts, together with the Bechtel Foundation, are helping us to provide the best possible learning, experiential, and leadership opportunities for our students. These generous organizations are listed in today's program, and several representatives are here with us today, including the Recare Foundation, Apple, General Motors, Sandia National Lab, and Adobe Systems. Thank you so much for your support of our students. And how fitting, as today with this program, we are helping to kick off Engineers Week, an annual Berkeley engineering student tradition since 1951. E-Week is organized entirely by our students and celebrates all things engineering with social events, seminars, and friendly competitions. Today is day one, and this is the first event, and we are delighted that you're here to join us. Now, it's my great pleasure to introduce Fiona Doyle, our Executive Associate Dean, to come and say a few words. Fiona.
So thank you very much, Shankar, and good afternoon to everyone. It's so nice to see so many friends and familiar faces here. It's been a huge pleasure for me to work closely with students, faculty, and professional staff, as well as our external partners, and everybody who's contributed to the reinvention of engineering leadership education at Berkeley. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished together, and I'm really excited to see our efforts bear fruit in the way that we can see today. Like any engineer who's worth his or her salt, when we started reinventing engineering leadership education, we began by defining the problem. You can't solve the problem if you don't know what the problem is. So we did that by going directly to our students and asking them how we could best facilitate their path to leadership. And these are some of the things that our students said. They told us that you learn a lot about leading teams outside the classroom when you're actually able to meet with other students to tackle a group project. And so we've outfitted group study rooms in the Kresge Engineering Library and elsewhere in the Bechtel Engineering Center so that students can indeed meet, discuss, and develop group presentations and readily work on those team projects. The students had lots of suggestions on how to make the library suitable for modern use and not a sort of fusty old place where you couldn't speak. So as a result of that, the Kresge Engineering Library now has ubiquitous wireless access, plenty of power outlets for all of those laptops, and a public computer area with spacious tables. After the library's renovation last year, our visitor traffic grew from about 160,000 visitors each year to 260,000 visitors each year. So I know that the engineers back there have already calculated this, but for the benefit of everybody else, that's a 65% increase in traffic, which is really significant, and we're thrilled that the library is being used so extensively. In fact, one student said that it felt more like a collaborative startup incubator than a musty old library. And I think that attests to the success of the library. This is what we wanted. Students also told us that their leadership skills are honed in student societies and competition teams. And the College of Engineering has more than 40 such organizations. So we created spaces here in the Bechtel Engineering Center where student organizations can meet and work on projects and build a vibrant Berkeley engineering community. The students also asked for academic achievement programs that enable them to chart their own course while working with peer mentors and tutors. In the new Center for Access to Engineering Excellence, our students can cultivate leadership and academic skills, develop personally and professionally, and contribute to the college's diverse and inclusive community. The students also told us that in order to master what you've learned, it's a good idea to share it with others. Many of our students have completed peer advising training and now help other undergraduates with questions about student life at Cal, as well as the inside scoop on particular courses. Most of all, students told us that hands-on experiences are the best preparation for effective leadership. And record numbers of our students are signing up for undergraduate research internships, where they're able to work alongside professors and graduate students in laboratory settings. We've just launched our new Quest program, the Qualcomm Undergraduate Experiences in Science and Technology. Engineers like acronyms, in case you haven't guessed. And the Quest program offers paid stipends to undergraduates involved in research and design projects. More than 150 of our students have taken part in our Leadership Institute, a week-long intensive program held during the winter break that prepares students to lead with ethical integrity. We just completed our third year of offering this transformative program. It's been an incredible honor, as well as a great pleasure, to witness firsthand the vitality, creativity, and dedication of our Berkeley engineers. Today we may be celebrating the progress that we've made in our engineering leadership activities, but what we're really celebrating today is our students. I have no doubt at all that you're going to change the world. And in that vein, please welcome Connor Landgraf, UC Berkeley's student body president and a fourth-year bioengineering student. Connor.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to address you this afternoon and celebrate such a momentous occasion for all students that we can truly, truly know will be utilized and enjoyed by thousands of students for years and years to come. When I was told the topic for today's session of educating engineering leaders, I thought about kind of the definition of engineering and the definition of leadership, and the adjectives that describe both of those words. For engineering, I thought of quantitative, mathematical, zeros and ones. That's what describes engineering to me. I think I've probably taken too many math classes here. For leadership, I thought of qualitative, soft skills, and communication. And when you describe it that way, these two topics seem almost disparate. They seem almost opposites. And yet at Berkeley, we can founder and we can create engineering leaders. We can combine these two subsets of students and encourage this important values in both of them. And I think that's for three reasons. First, I think it's because of the students. I think it's because of the students' desire to change the world. Second, I think it's because of collaboration, because of the facilities that this university provides that allow students to collaborate together through hard work and preparation and create really amazing results because of that. And finally, I think it's because of excellence in our academics, in our staff, and our faculty, and our students. And I think it's because of those three reasons that Berkeley is able to create engineering leaders. For a desire to change the world, I think we all know Gandhi's quote, "Be the change you want to see in the world." I think for the College of Engineering, that should be engineer the change you want to see in the world. And I think that's just what describes so many Berkeley students here. So many of my peers, so many of my fellow engineers are absolutely driven to engineer the change that they want to see in the world, to engineer the next innovations that will save lives, improve quality of life, and lift people out of poverty. That's the passion and the energy and the enthusiasm that I see in my fellow peers. Second is because of the collaboration that facilities like the Bechtel Center provide for students, like this new renovated library, allow students to work together, even in the late of nights. Students don't operate on a 9 to 5 schedule. We operate more on a 12 p.m. to 4 a.m. schedule. And so the opportunity for students to collaborate outside of the classroom is so vital to our educations, and that's what this facility provides. And finally, it's excellence. It's excellence in our professors, in our faculty, in our staff, and the students that really allows us to produce engineering leaders like myself and like all of our fellow students here. How do we demonstrate this then? We're engineers. We like to quantify things. I think it's quantified in the fantastic subset of teams and competition teams and students doing amazing projects throughout the world. I think it's proven by our students working on water projects in developing countries, by our students developing solar engineering vehicles that are traveling across Australia and competing against hundreds of other schools. And it's our students who are driven to improve the world and really engineer the change that they want to see in the world. And that's why I think I'm proud to just call myself a Berkeley engineer, but I'm proud and honored because I feel like Berkeley engineering is something totally unique. Go Bears. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. I'd now like to introduce Berkeley's most outspoken champion of our students, Chancellor Robert Birgeneau. His top priority as Chancellor has been to maintain and strengthen Berkeley's world-class excellence and preserve its distinctive public character. For Bob Birgeneau, Berkeley is an important engine of social mobility. He has fought hard to protect access and affordability for students who have the talent but not the means to succeed at Berkeley. Some 40% of our undergraduates now pay no tuition at all, thanks to student aid programs for which he's been a strong advocate. Bob Bergeau is completing more than 8 years as Berkeley's leader. After May 31st, when he steps down as chancellor, he'll remain on the faculty as a professor of material science and engineering, and maybe physics too. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chancellor Robert Bergeau.
Thank you, Shankar, and I'm very honored to take part in our celebration today. And I cannot tell you how much I'm looking forward, Mark, to sitting next to you as a regular faculty member and someone you need to take care of. As Shankar noted, I believe that Berkeley has a core obligation to attract a diverse range of top-performing students across the socioeconomic spectrum and prepare them for leadership in the world economy. Our student body continues to be among the very best, not just in California, but in the entire world. Here at Berkeley, students gain in the interdisciplinary, multicultural perspective that will serve them well in our increasingly globalized society. We recently made history by becoming the first public university in the United States to provide substantial financial aid to middle-income families through our middle-income access plan. Families earning between $80,000 and $140,000 a year contribute no more than 15% of their income toward the cost of their undergraduate students' education. And actually, maybe disappointingly, we remain the only public university in the United States to provide such financial aid to middle-class families. We also support our students' ambitions to change the world for the better. Students in Berkeley Engineering are real leaders in this regard, and I'm especially proud of you. Berkeley engineers are reaching out and mentoring students in elementary, middle, and high schools through many engineering student project teams and clubs. Getting K through 12 students excited about science and engineering by giving them firsthand experiences in robotics, structures, design, and more. You're also improving communities here in the Bay Area and globally by creating solutions for poverty, healthcare access, clean energy, public safety and security, and many other challenges. Your dreams of building a better world have not gone unnoticed by the S.D. Bechtel Jr. Foundation. Under the leadership of Stephen Bechtel Jr. and the foundation president, Lori Bechtel Docks, the foundation has been a close partner in realizing the vision of our Educating Engineering Leaders initiative. Our celebration today marks a major milestone in this long and successful partnership. I'd now like to invite Mr. Bechtel up to the podium for a special presentation. The University of California, Berkeley recognizes our most distinguished visitors with the Chancellor's Citation. It's now my great privilege to salute Stephen Bechtel Jr. with this high honor, and I'll now read from the citation. There it is. The Chancellor of the University of California, Berkeley honors Stephen D. Bechtel Jr. in recognition of his steadfast dedication to advancing a productive, vibrant, and sustainable society. As his life's work, Stephen Bechtel has directed his leadership, acumen, and philanthropy toward nurturing our most precious asset, the talents and aspirations of all who seek to build a better world through education. The university and the Bechtel family have worked in partnership to extend opportunity to many generations of students, teachers, and researchers. We are honored by the trust he has placed in us, and we are driven to move forward to realize a shared vision for excellence and accomplishment. Stephen Bechtel's commitment to education reflects a lifelong ethic of responsible action to benefit the common good. In this way, Mr. Bechtel is an exemplar to all of us at the university, especially our students. Steve.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very honored to get this plaque. It will go in my wall at home and be cherished. And aside from what we've helped do right here, I just like everybody to know that my mother and father both went to UC Berkeley. My sister did, and some of our others in our family did. I went elsewhere during the war, on active duty in the Marine Corps, but I was lucky and got into an officer training program that they sent me to college, first at Boulder and then at Purdue. So I've got kind of, in a way, split allegiances, but Berkeley has always been close to our family's heart and to my heart. So I'd just like to thank you very much for this recognition. We're delighted we were able to help out here, Tom.
I think they have a dance for you. I thought you folks had a dance in mind. Thank you very much, Mr. Bechtel. Congratulations. I'd now like to welcome Laurie Bechtel-Dax to the podium. She's the President and Executive Director of the Bechtel Foundation and has played a key advisory role for our college for many years. Welcome.
Thank you, Shankar. As you've already heard, the original Engineering Center was built in 1980 and was named after my grandfather, Steve Bechtel. He was a visionary engineer, an extraordinary business and family man, as well as someone with a very strong and deep commitment to public education. Those are qualities that are also shared by my father, his son. I share their commitment to quality public education, but I confess I didn't get the engineering bug, unfortunately. My grandfather would be very pleased not only to see this building, but also the bright, diverse, and passionate students who will carry out great engineering projects to benefit people all over the world. The renovations on this building have spanned many years, but this round began in 2008. The final phase is scheduled to be completed in 2014. But already, what a wonderful place for students to gather, to share both their learning and their dreams. Our foundation is delighted to celebrate today with the Chancellor, the Dean, faculty, as well as the students of the College of Engineering to formally cut the ribbon to the Stephen D. Bechtel Engineering Center. I've visited a couple times over the course of the past couple of years, and I'm very pleased to see how this project has been completed, and especially the engagement already of the students in its use and the services that it houses. It's a true honor to support the College of Engineering, renowned throughout the world for its excellent faculty and terrific students, and to stand alongside the other foundations and corporations who've supported both the renovations and the programmatic initiatives housed here. And what a wonderful additional bonus to share this time with UC Berkeley's Engineers Week, a time to celebrate and showcase the innovations and passionate commitment of the college's engineering students. We are all counting on what you, students, can do and really must do to improve the quality of life across the globe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Laurie. I'd now like to invite our stage party to join me for the ribbon cutting. Please draw your attention to the main entrance there. And after the ribbon cutting, please join us inside, where our students are eager to show some of their most exciting projects. There's a real treat inside after the ribbon's been cut. So please join me inside, and there'll be refreshments served inside. Thank you all very much.